So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial video, I will show you how to create a task list with Laravel and MySQL database. Yes guys, we will be using the MySQL database to insert the user's Todo. For an example, if the user enters the Todo, that Todo will be inserted in our database. That's going to be the task list database with a specific column of content. Yes guys, so if till now you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. So without wasting the time, let's start the video. As you can see over here, before that you need to start your Apache and MySQL server in XAMPP control panel, because we are going to be dealing with the database. The next thing, as you can see over here, I have already created a fresh Laravel project. Over here, no need to do anything, but we need to create a model and a controller, right? So the first thing is that I'm going to come inside my Laravel project that I have created, task list underscore Laravel. Over here I need to run a command for creating a model and a controller together. That is php artisan make model name, that is going to be to-do list, and -mcr command that is going to be used for creating a controller. Just remove one column from make model, and then it's gonna work and execute the code for creating a model and a controller. So now as you can see, our model and controller is created successfully. Now we can just start working with our code. So now let me minimize my terminal and open my code editor. As you can see here, my code editor is opened. Now, before coming to our code, let's open our database, that is localhost phpMyAdmin, and over here we're going to create our database. So the database name is going to be task underscore list underscore Laravel, right? And just click on the create button. That's gonna create a database for you, and the next thing, don't need to do anything over here. Come to your code editor and open your .env file, and then you need to paste your database name that you have created over here in the db underscore database line number 14. Just paste your database name. After that, come open your terminal and run php artisan migrate command. But before running it, we are going to be creating a column in our database. So come to app, come to models, open todolist.php. Okay, and after that you need to open another file that is going to be for our database. That's going to be the migration files, right? So come to your database folder, open your migration folder, and open the migration that is created while you have created your model, and you need to insert a column over here after the id. So $table arrow, it's going to be a string, of course, and in this add your column name in a string that is going to be content. That's it. Now this column will be created successfully. After that, you need to just come to your to-do list.php model. Over here, after the use has factory, we are going to be writing a protected command that is going to say that we need to insert all of our to-dos in this specific content column only. So protected command, go with $fillable variable that equals to an array, and enter your column name in a string that is going to be content that we have created. And we are all set now. Now you need to open your terminal window and run the php artisan migrate command. That's just gonna execute your code. Let me just zoom in a bit and run this command, and then the tables will be created in your database that you have created. So let it run. After it's migrated, open your browser and refresh your database, and as you can see, the tables are over here. So our table was to-do list, and as you can see over here, we are having a content column added over here that we have added in our migrations, right? So let me minimize it, and that's it for our model. Now let's open our controller, that is going to be the to-do list controller.php file, where all of our functionality is gonna go. So let me just remove all of the comments that I don't need, other than keep a function of index, store, and destroy function, and remove all of others function from here. So we are going to be having these three functions that we will be using for making our Todo. Come to your first, that is our index function, right? And create a to-do lists variable over here that equals to a to-do list column all method, just for selecting our all to-dos and inserting it. Then we are going to return a view. In that view we are going to be returning our home, that is our home URL page, and over here we're going to be having a compact method, and the variable name is going to be to-do lists. Right, that's it. And now let me end it with a semicolon. Now let's come to a store function which is going to store our Todo into our database, right? Of course. So now let's come over here, and here just create a variable of data that equals to, we are going to be creating a request, and then we are going to be adding a validate method over here. In that validate method we are going to be taking an array. Let me end it with a semicolon, and now I'm gonna say insert the data in my content column, and it is required. Let me just go with an arrow, and it's required. That's it. This will help us to insert the data in our content column in our database. Now let me create a to-do list column, and I'm just gonna say them to create this data. That's it. And then I'm just gonna return a back method to come back. Now let's work on our destroy functionality, that's going to be the deleting the functionality from our Todo. Let's create a to-do lists variable, arrow, and I'm just gonna call a delete method. It's simple. And after that I'm just gonna return a back method for delete functionality. It is really simple for the deleting functionality. Now we are all set with our functionalities that we have set up in our to-do list controller.php file, right? Yes. So now after that we are going to be opening our routes file, that is going to be web.php file, where we are going to be defining all of our routes. That is going to be home route, store route, and destroy route that we have created a functionality in our controller. So the first route is going to be a home route, which is going to take a to-do list controller class, and I'm going to pass it a value of index, and the name also I'm going to pass it over here, that is also going to be index. And the first route is using a get method. Second one is going to be using a post method, because we are going to be storing a data in our database, right? So let's go with our controller, and now I'm going to provide the name, other than index is going to be store, and even the name is also going to be store. Right, that's it. We are all set. Now let me create my third route, that is going to be the delete route for deleting the Todo. / double curly braces, in which we are going to be having to-do lists ID. We're just going to get that specific ID, and then we are going to be deleting that specific Todo only. Let's go with my controller column class, and define the name of destroy over here, right? The function that we have created in our controller. The name is also going to be destroy. It is really simple. Now let me end it with a semicolon, and we are all set with our routes. Now let's work with our front end, where all of these functionalities are going to go. So now we are going to be creating a new file in our resources. So let's come to our resources, come to our views folder, right click, create a new file, and now the file name is going to be home.blade.php. Cool. And now we are just going to be writing the basic HTML code over here. HTML head, we are going to define a title over here, that's going to be to-do list, and this is the simple HTML syntax. If you are using a Visual Studio Code editor, you will be having a syntax for it by pressing shift and column, and then you're going to be getting the basic HTML syntax. So we are going to be using some packages over here. The first package is going to be the Font Awesome package for icons, so I'll be adding it over here, and the second one is going to be the MD Bootstrap CSS. The link I'm having in my notepad, so I'm just going to copy it from there and paste it over here. So let me copy And now let me just paste my font awesome CSS link over here. Let me go with my bootstrap, copy it and paste it over here. Done. So now we have set up our font awesome and bootstrap CSS in our Laravel project. Let me just use my bootstrap CSS over here. For body, I'm adding it a style of a background color that's going to be hashtag 3636 and 36. Now in this body we are going to be having a div which is going to be having some classes that's going to be like container class. Then the width is going to be 25. The empty, that's going to be the margin from top, is going to be 5. In this div we are going to be having another div which is going to be having a class of card shadow, that's going to be sm small. And now I'm just going to close this div. Now in this card shadow small div we are going to be having another div which is going to be having a class of card hyphen body, and that's it. We are all set. So now let me create the h3 tag for the heading that I would like to display. Here all of our code is gonna go that we would display it in our front end, right? Of course. So let me just comment it out. And now let me display a h3 tag, and I would like to display Todo hyphen do list. And now let me close my h3 tag, let me save it and let me run my Laravel project and let's see whether we get any error or not. So let's run the php artisan serve command and let me copy my development server from here, open my Firefox, open a new tab and paste it over here, press enter, and boom guys, we got an error of Todo list controller does not exist. So for fixing this error we are going to be working with our route file. So let me just come to my code editor. So where is my route file? Oh, it's not over here, sorry. It's there in our web.php file, right? Yeah. So here I'm going to be using my app /http/ controllers, and I'm just gonna access my controller that was Todo list controller, and then this error will be fixed successfully. Let me end it with a semicolon, let me save it, let me just come to my Firefox, let me refresh the page, and boom guys, as you can see the error is disappeared over here and it is displaying us the Todo list heading that we have written in our h3 tag in our home.play.php file. Great, so we are all set with it now. Now we are going to be working with a form for our input where the user is going to be entering the Todo. So just create a form that's going to be having an action and the method is going to be post, and then the autocomplete mode is going to be off. And now let me close my form tag, and in this form the first thing that it's going to take is going to be the CSRF token to make our form work. And now I'm going to create a div which is going to be having a class of input-group. Let me close the div, and now let me create my input which is going to be having a type of text. Then I will be adding it a name that is going to be content. Let me add a class that is going to be form-control, and that's, let me add a placeholder that's going to be add your Todo. And now that's it for our input. Let me close it out and let me save it. So here's an alert, let's cancel it out and let's open our Firefox, refresh our web page, and boom guys, we can see that our add your Todo input is being displayed over here. After that I would like to display a button. So let me create a button tag over here which is going to be having a type of submit, a class that is going to be button dark. We're going to go with button sm, that is going to be small button, and pixel is going to be 4 pixel. That's going to be padding, right? After inside this button, I would like to display a id icon that is coming from font awesome fast fa-plus, and let me close my I tag. Let me save it, let me open my Firefox, and let me refresh it out. And boom guys, as you can see, we're having our input and with the beautiful amazing animated add button. That looks really cool and amazing. That's the power of Bootstrap. Now, when the user clicks on submit, when our form is submitted, I'm going to call an action in our double curly braces. I'm going to define a route over here that's going to be take me to the route of store, which is going to run a functionality of store and store our data into our database. Right? And that's it for the main functionality. Let's go with our if task list functionality. So after my form tag, I'm going to provide a comment over here that is going to be if task list code starts. And I'm just going to comment it out, and I'm just going to copy it and paste it again, and over here it's going to be ending. And now we are going to go with and if with a parenthesis where our code execute is going to go, and we are going to end if. Now if my count of task list, if I'm having the task list, a to-do list, if my to-do list is there, we need to display it, of course, right? So if my to-do lists, I'm going to create a UL tag because I need to display, of course, it in a list, which is going to be having a class of list-group flush, and we're going to go with margin from top, which is going to be 3. Let me close my UL tag. Okay, so if my to-do list is there, I would like to display it in a list. So now in my UL tag, I would like to create and for each of my to-do list, right? So for each to-do lists, so let me just end my for each loop. And now inside my for each, I'm gonna say for each of my to-do lists, store it as single to-do list. And now our code is going to display it in a list tag. So li tag, which is going to be having a class of list-group-item. Let me close my li tag, and here I would like to display the item. So over here I will be using a form tag because we are going to be having a delete functionality also, right guys? Yes, so because when the user clicks on the delete button, we need to even delete that specific item from our to-do app. So let's go with a form which is going to be having an action which we are going to define afterwards. The method is going to be the post method. Let me close my form tag, and now we are going to be having a double curly braces. We are going to display our content. So for my single to-do list, I need to just display that content. It's really simple. After this, we are going to be having our CSRF token. And after that, I'm going to call my delete method because we are going to be using it over here. So method, I'm defining a delete method over here. And now let me create a button for deleting my to-do, which is going to be having a type of submit, which is going to be having a class of that is going to be button hyphen, let's go with link, and button hyphen small button, and the float is going to be end, and that's it. Now let me close my button tag and display the icon in it with the help of Font Awesome package. So let me go with an I tag, which is going to be having a style of color that's going to be in red color for deleting our trash icon. And now let me provide it a class that is going to be fa-trash. And now let me close my I tag. And now we are all set. Now when I do save it, nothing is going to happen now. Let me just call an action to my form. When the user clicks on the delete button, going with the double curly braces, adding a space in between, and now we are going to define a route. In a single quotes, the route is going to be the destroy route. We are going to be adding a comma, we need to get the Todo's ID. So for that, let's go with a specific Todo list and arrow get that ID, because that specific Todo is only gonna be deleted when the user clicks on the trash button for deleting the Todo. So now after my UL tag, over here, we are going to be having else statement. Else we are not going to do anything, right? So let me just provide a comment over here. Oh, okay, let's go with else of a paragraph of class in which we are just going to be displaying that there is no task. So which is going to be having a class of text center margin from top of 3 and display no task as the text if there's no to do added, right? Great, so that's it. So after my div ends over here, let me just remove the extra space, and after my div ends, I'm going to press enter and I'm going to go with another if statement over here. And now let me just end my if loop, and now I'm going to say if my count of my to-do lists, I'm going to display that this many tasks is pending, right? So let me come over here, create a div that is going to be having a class of card-footer, and let me close my div and display a text over here. We are going to be having the double curly braces, and we are going to say pending tasks. So how many pending tasks? For displaying that, I'm just gonna use a count method and pass my to-do lists variable in it. It's really simple. Let me just pass it over here. Great guys, we are all set. So, and if, let me even add an else statement, right? So after my div ends, I'm going to be adding an @else. Else is not gonna display us anything. So let me go with an else statement and provide a comment in it that is going to be, let's go with don't display anything. Simple. And now let me just make it as a comment. And that's it. We have successfully created our task list. Let me save it, let me open, and let's see whether it is working fine or not. Right? Of course. So let me just come to my Firefox. Now let me just refresh my web page. Okay, so now it's displaying that there's no task. Yeah, it's fine, it's working fine without any errors. So let me add any to-do. First to-do is going to be programming. When I do click on the add button, as you can see that specific to-do is added. Let me add a second to-do, and it is even displaying that you have one pending task. Let me add a second to-do that is going to be, let's going to cave. Simple. And let me add it out. And as you can see, the two to-dos are added, and now you have two pending tasks is being displayed in the footer of our to-do app. And now, as you can see, we are having our beautiful delete trash icon. When the user clicks on that, now you have only one pending task. That means our to-do app is working fine, right? Of course. So now there's no task after we delete all of our to-dos. So let me add some more tasks in a list. Let's go with programming. Let me just copy it out and let me paste it multiple times. So as you can see, it is displaying that you have 6 pending tasks, you have 7 pending tasks when you're adding the to-do, right? You can just delete some of them, and as you can see, it is being decremented when the to-dos are being deleted. So now let's see whether the to-dos are being inserted in our database or not, right? That's the most important thing. So let's come to our database. Let me reload my web page. And as you can see, these 5 lists are added into my database of a content column. And as you can see, there is programming added, right? Yeah. So let me delete all of my to-dos. Come to my database, refresh my database, and now you should see my database empty. Now let me add some to-do over here. The first to-do is going to be programming. Second one is going to be coding. And let me come to my database, reload it, and As you can see, these two Todos are added in our database in a column of content with their own ID. And this is how to create a Todo app with Laravel and MySQL database. So when the user enters any kind of a Todo, that Todo will be inserted in our MySQL database that will help us to delete it, check it, and more. If you need some more functionalities in it, just comment down below. I will create a separate video of it. So if till now you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. And as you can see, all data are being inserted. And the source code for this Todo app will be provided in my GitHub repo, and the link will be provided in the description below. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.